Developed by Footprints and published by Adventure Productions, Detective Gallo is a point-and-click, comic noir adventure that takes inspiration from classics like Day of the Tentacle and Monkey Island. Entirely hand-illustrated and hand-animated, you'll immediately notice the vibrant and unique visuals that really make Detective Gallo stand out from the crowd. Each frame meticulously crafted with detail. It's hard to believe this was developed by such a small studio. Detective Gallo is a cynical, grumpy and sarcastic private investigator, partnered with his cactus known simply as Thorn. Returning to his office after being kicked out of his local watering hole, Detective Gallo is greeted by a nervous multi-billionaire who is willing to pay an outrageous amount of money to solve the mystery of the plant murderer. With the help of a generous advance, Detective Gallo accepts this case. However, little did Detective Gallo know this simple case would turn out to be his most intricate investigation he would ever undertake.
Comfortable, Mr. Gallo.
Detective Gallo.
I'll tell you everything if you
Point-and-click games seem to be making a resurgence as of late. The genre is filled with some classics from the likes of Tim Schafer's Grim Fandango and Day of the Tentacle to the more recently well-received Thimbleweed Park. Detective Gallo clearly takes inspiration from these titles and rightfully deserves to be mentioned alongside such classics. The most standout feature of Detective Gallo is the hand-illustrated and animated art style. It's unique, bright and vibrant. There really is nothing else like it currently on the market. Cuphead, released back in September 2017, won multiple awards for its art style, and rightfully so. However, Detective Gallo is right on par with Cuphead. I would be surprised if it's not at least nominated for its art style in the upcoming awards ceremonies. Accompanying the standout art style is a jazz-inspired soundtrack. It really does a great job of setting the mood for the scene. Featuring 21 tracks, the soundtrack is another standout feature of Detective Gallo. Sometimes soundtracks and audio design can be really overlooked when it comes to appreciating a game. Thankfully, this isn't the case with Detective Gallo. Multiple times I found myself rooted to the spot just so I could listen to a certain song play from start to finish. Throughout the game, you'll come across multiple characters, all with their own distinct voice and personality. Unfortunately, our protagonist Detective Gallo is the weakest character in the entire game. The voiceover leaves much to be desired. All his lines feel like they're delivered robotically, and almost everything he says is uninspiring. Sure, he has a few shining moments throughout your playthrough, but majority of the time you'll be reading and skipping Detective Gallo's dialogue. I did really enjoy the rest of the characters' voiceovers. They were all unique and well acted, making each character a joy to listen to. Detective Gallo is equipped with a host of one-liners, some quirky and interesting, but some are just plain frustrating. The game tries so hard to incorporate humour, which to its credit it manages to do some of the time. I found myself laughing out loud a few times throughout my 5-hour playthrough. It's just a shame that majority of the time the humour just falls flat. When it comes to gameplay, there isn't a lot to talk about. It's your typical point-and-click game. It doesn't do anything new in this category, nor does it do anything bad. It's on par with every other game in the genre. A few features I really did like was the ability to double tap the edge of the screen to quickly move between areas. This saved me a lot of time during my playthrough. It's inevitable that during your time with Detective Gallo, you'll find yourself scratching your head thinking what else you need to do. Well, thanks to the developers, they've added a feature called Gallo Sense. Mapped to R2 on PS4, this highlights every interactable object within your vicinity. This came in handy a few times. I didn't realise I could interact with certain objects that were vital in order to unlock a certain trophy or progress the story. This is neither a negative or a positive, as you expect this from these sort of games, but I feel it's important that people know. You'll spend a lot of time going back and forth between areas in order to progress the story or unlock certain achievements and trophies. Whilst we're on the subject of achievements and trophies, I won't tell you what you need to do in order to unlock certain trophies, but it's important to know. If you want to platinum or obtain max achievement score, it's vital you do not use the previously mentioned Gallo Sense at all throughout your playthrough. You also can't use Detective Gallo's journal or pause the game at all. Essentially means you have to complete the game from start to finish in one sitting, and without the help of any of the game's mechanics. This is easily doable though. A quick Google search will provide you with a guide, and the game is fairly short, clocking in at about 5 hours long. I really enjoyed my time with Detective Gallo, despite its shortcomings. The art style is phenomenal, the story was unique and enjoyable with an interesting twist, and the audio design is some of the best I've heard in a point-and-click adventure game. It's hard to truly show or talk about Detective Gallo without giving away any spoilers. With that being said, I highly recommend Detective Gallo if you're passionate about point-and-click games. Thanks for watching. Be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe and comment with your thoughts about Detective Gallo. Be sure to stay tuned to Access Gaming for more in the coming days.